defeat, coupled with Manchester United's point in the big derby against Manchester City yesterday, leaves United 2 points clear of Arsenal. They will go back to the top with a victory. Chelsea will go second if they can win here for the third season in a row. Well, here come the players. There's Meadow there on the right-hand side. 10 derby goals she scored in London football. Headline team news: Van der Donk out, Little and Roard back after injury problems. Good news that for Arsenal, who have Meadow, the top scorer in WSL history, of course.
Yeah, it's a huge boost for Arsenal. To get Little and Roard back is absolutely massive. Perfect timing. They missed them last week against Manchester United. When they came on with 20 minutes to go, they made a big impact, but it wasn't enough to get the result that they wanted last week. But today, you know, they'll have a big impact and a big say in this result.
Can they get back to winning ways? Second in the WSL, 5 wins in 6 so far this season for the champs 15 times. Record-breaking champs a couple of years ago in the WSL. Chelsea, of course, come here with that great victory against them, but Manchester United beat Arsenal and showed Chelsea the way to do it last week. Arsenal didn't get too many chances in the game, did they, Laura?
No, that's right, but this was a good chance. We've seen McCabe's delivery from wide areas all season, and Ford as well to get across a defender, but just couldn't get it goal bound.
And 2 significant substitutes played a role in the winning goal. James set Sigsworth away, and Ella Toone, who's been brimful of form, looped in the winner.
That's right, Jess Sigsworth came on as a substitution and made a huge impact straight away to set up Ella Toone for that one. Disappointment
for the Arsenal coach there on the bench watching on Joe Montemurro, and he knows what a tough task this will be against a Chelsea side who come here with Emma Hayes in charge, of course, unbeaten in 26 league games. Their headline: team changes, there are none. It's an unchanged side from Everton, and unsurprisingly, because they got it right in the end, didn't they? They did. It took them a while to break down Everton last week, but second half performance was a lot more clinical, brighter, with Beth England leading the way. She was the star of the show last week, and so was Pernilla Harder. She stepped up and delivered it in that last vital moment. Scored the goal of the game after they'd taken a fairly early lead in the match against an in-form Everton side, reeling from the cup final defeat, where the goalkeeper had an outstanding game, but unfortunately it was a slip there that led to the opener, scored by G. And then it was really all about Beth England. Could have been a penalty there when Leupolz was fouled, but England tucked it in. And after Cuthbert's shot was saved, comes out to Beth England, striker's reaction, and this was the goal of the game, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic, the way she just plays a 1-2. Beth England getting an assist, but you know, that, like you said, that was the moment of the game. What a strike that was, absolutely sensational. Really good goal there for Harder, 4th in the WSL, last season's champions, 3-time champions of England's elite league. Grey day in North London. In Borehamwood we are, Borehamwood and L Street. It's the home of Borehamwood Football Club, a team that play in the National League. They're mid-table in that National League at the moment. Arsenal's men's young team play here, and also the women, of course. It's very much their home. And a couple of years ago, it really was a fortress when they took the title in 18-19 with the most ever points in a WSL season, the most home points, 27 points they won here. They were outstanding on this ground. Mind you, Chelsea, when they won the league in 2017-18, they went unbeaten away from home, and they had the fewest defeats in any campaign in WSL history there. They were unbeaten, of course, home or away, so we know they travel very well, and we just made reference there to that long unbeaten run, Laura, that goes back to January 19 when they were beaten at home by Birmingham City. But Chelsea at the moment, for me, having seen the Manchester derby yesterday when Manchester United were outplayed in the first half, Manchester City were outplayed in the second, Chelsea for me are the outstanding form side.
Yeah, they are, and I think, although I think there's still another few gears for Chelsea to go, I still think that some players are still playing like individuals. They haven't really settled into the team yet, which is a really scary thought to think that they have even more gears in the team performance that they can show. But when it matters, they can step it up. They have those big game players, and they can score the goals, and they're patient in their play. They know that they will create chances. It's just how ruthless they can be on that day.
Well, there they are. Beth England stays in. Sam Kerr still on the bench. We'll run you through the teams in a moment. Emma Hayes this week was asked about the challenge of keeping all her world-class forwards happy. She says, my job isn't to make people happy. The truth is that if I had a happy bench, I'd be really worried about it, and that's true, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. And I think what she means by that is, her job is to get a winning team, put on a performance and get the result. And if that is the case, if they are achieving that, you will have happy players, and you will keep, they'll keep striving to be better and better in training. Brighton have just beaten West Ham United, by the way, in the other game today by 1-0. Jarrett got the goal there with 21 minutes to go. Rhiannon Jarrett scored that goal. This one, though, has a real significance at the top end of the table. Kim Little leading them out. Great to see her back. Yeah, the fans watching this will be so pleased with that sight. She's such a leader. They struggled to get momentum and possession and any sustained control in the game last week, and she's a big part of that. With her and Rord in the midfield, they'll be looking to gain more possession, keep the ball for longer periods, and Kim Little is a key heartbeat in this Arsenal team. Jill Rord scored a hat-trick when you and I last sat together in the commentary position doing an Arsenal game at West Ham. That's right, she was sensational that day. Her composure, the timing of runs into the box. She knows that when the wide players, McCabe and Maya today, when they're in wide areas, she knows that the delivery of crosses is going to be good, and she times her run perfectly. Arsenal 3 changes from the defeat at Manchester United. Rord, who scored back-to-back hat-tricks in September, gets her first start. Since then she's been out with injury. A Little starting for the first time since injury in the Cup semi-final 7 days ago, and Maya comes in at right back for only her third start this season. Wilbur Moy moves into centre-back with Schneiderbeck missing, and Van der Donk can go to the bench for Arsenal. Chelsea unchanged, as we were saying, from the big win over Everton. Beth England's 2 goals and 2 assists keep her in ahead of Kerr. She played a role in all 9 games for the home side, for the Chelsea side this season. Millie Bright, Ji So-Yun and Erin Cuthbert have also played an ever-present role. Still no Fran Kirby. She's out with an injury. Well, here are the substitutes for you. Big experience on both, and Guru Wrighton back in the picture now for Chelsea. She was missing last weekend. She's played a major part for them last season. Van der Donk, a little bit surprised she's only on the bench. What do you think? Yeah, I just think he's gone for a change. I think you need to shake it up from last week's performance and start an 11, but you also, in derby games like this, you also need a game changer, and she's certainly that for Arsenal. Will come off the bench, I would imagine. Blue sky, a little patch of blue sky overhead. A gorgeous morning in North London it was. Got a little bit grey. It's the Reds, it's the Blues, it's Arsenal-Chelsea coming your way now. Kim Little back as Arsenal captain, so crucial for them. She picked up an injury when they were beaten in the FA Cup semi-final at Manchester City. Beth England, so crucial for Chelsea with her 5 goals so far this season. 2 of them against Everton. Millie Bright, little shot of her there, so solid at the back for Chelsea this season. And there's the referee, Kirsty Dowie, her 4th game this campaign in charge. She's pulled out that yellow card just once this season so far, which is fairly unusual. A patient referee, but this is a crucial and a pressurised game. Melanie Leupolz there wearing 8 for Chelsea, Now I wonder what game plan he has, Joe Montemurro, to negate the effect of the German international, because she's had a super start for Chelsea in her first season in WSL football. We're nearly ready to go. Check from the referee. Checks the watch. Players take the knee. As sport, as society battles racism around the world, this is their message. Off we go then. Arsenal in the red and white, famously kicking from left to right in this first half against the reigning WSL champions, and they're on the front foot straight away. And it's cleared away by Anne-Katrin Berger, but not really effectively. And Jill Roord has it for Arsenal. Played it back to Leonie Meyer, who's battled her way through there. And she's just seen off in the end by Magdalena Eriksson, the Chelsea captain, the Swedish international. A good front foot start though by Arsenal here, Laura.
Really positive, being positive, playing the ball forward, putting Chelsea under the pressure. It's exactly the start that they need. They need to keep this up, because I feel today Arsenal coming into this game are really big underdogs, and I think Joe Montemurro is asking questions from his team, his big players in these big derbies. Confirmation
of that Arsenal lineup for you then. Roord back and Little back, and Leonie Meyer in at right back. So her opportunities this season have been a little bit limited. The former Bayern title winner. Arsenal really have had a poor recent record against Chelsea, who come here with such a strong run of form behind them, dating back all the way to January 19 in the league, unbeaten, and with that unchanged side. Well, she has battled against injuries over the last 3 or 4 years, Kim Little, and Arsenal fans delighted to see her back, as you were saying earlier, and they don't want her injured. She's missed the last 4 games. She had a cruciate knee ligament injury, 17-18. Really the heiress to Kelly Smith in this Arsenal side, I would say.
Yeah, I think just the impact she has on the pitch as a leader, always wanting the ball, and also off the pitch. She's a real gel to the squad. She can relate to older senior players on a level, and also inspire and talk and motivate and bring through and be patient with the younger players. So, you know, she has a key role, and, you know, she epitomises everything that, you know, you associate Arsenal with. She really is a key figure, like you were saying.
Missed the Euros in 2017 with a knee injury. That knee injury played in the World Cup finals in France, although she was a doubt for that at one stage. And she'll be, of course, a cock-a-hoop at the moment with Scotland's men qualifying for the European Championships next year this week. Here come Chelsea then with Jonna Andersson, very settled Chelsea back for Mjelde, Bright, Eriksson and Andersson, and Sophie Ingle back in favour, starting for the second week running. So important. Vanilla Harder, so graceful. G, so elegant on the ball, closes in there. One of the best midfield players in the world. I think generally accepted, and the manager is never quiet in coming forward with that opinion either. Here's Millie Bright, and a fine pass by her, but just too far ahead of Maren Mjelde on that right-hand side. Loves to get forward, the Norwegian captain. And Millie Bright, last season, her passing out from the back was absolutely exceptional for Chelsea, and she's carried that on this season, Laura.
Yeah, her distribution is something that she's really worked on over the last few years, and her short game's good. It's got good accuracy. On that occasion, it was the right vision, the right pass, just a little bit too much pace on the ball. I think she thought that Maren Mjelde was quicker than she was, but we often see a trademark pass from right centre back, and it's a big long switch to the left hand side, and she can produce that type of pass time and time again with good consistency.
Won't be allowed back on the field of play if there is blood flowing. It's a FIFA regulation, of course. It was nicknamed the Butcher rule. Terry Butcher for England in an international, carried on playing with his head swathed in bandages many years ago and blood seeping through the wounds, and FIFA decided enough was enough and brought in that regulation, quite rightly so. So Zinsberger will get things going again for Arsenal. A couple of clean sheets only for her this season, and they will give you a chance, Arsenal, in games defensively. Kept a clean sheet in the Continental Cup victory over London City Lionesses, but Spurs scored a consolation here in that big 6-1. Chelsea beaten, of course, already this season 4-1 in the Continental Cup. Even in that big 9-goal romp at West Ham scored. Here's Eriksson. Out wide then to Jona Andersson, who plays with Eriksson for the Swedish side, both of them Olympic silver medalists in 16. And Leopold was on the winning side for Germany. There's a confidence about Chelsea. It's not a swagger, but there's a confidence in their stride. But they know if they give Vivianne Miedema a chance, form she's in, she could get Arsenal over the line here. 9 goals in the last 4 games, Miedema. That's handball. Bounced up awkwardly, controlled it with the arm. Joe Montemurro, by the way, has said the reaction has been magnificent to the defeat at Manchester United. They know where they're at. They know that they let themselves down, and they know that in the scope of the league it's going to be very, very tight. Every point is going to be very, very important. Not my words, his. And away there by Maya. And Pernilla Harder ran it into a blind alley, and Arsenal will bring it away. Very important to them this season has been Caitlin Ford on the left-hand side. It was a birthday last Wednesday, the Australian international. She's scored goals, has 4, but she's got 5 assists this season as well. And I think they believe she plays very well with Miedema.
Yeah, that's right. And I think what also I like about Caitlin Ford is, you know, she does all the out of possession stuff. She'll work back, track back, double up and help McCabe out in defending senses. So that work rate, you know, especially when you're not playing that well, you need to be able to stay in games and be competitive. And so she certainly does all that work out of possession.
G for Chelsea. Looks for the run of Jona Andersson, who loves to get forward. And straight race there between the Swede and the German international, Ellie Meyer. One of that goal-winning side in the Olympics 4 years ago. Was always impressed at international level. Leopold's her German teammate into the box. Got the best of clearances away. And Arsenal should now clear their lines with Williamson. Brought away to Ford on that left-hand side. Thinks it in, looking for the run of Miedema. Link-up play between Ford and McCabe in that build-up. We know if they can get it into the box. Miedema is in this red-hot patch of form. All 4 goals she scored in the past against Chelsea have come here. She netted at home in the 2-1 defeat in January 19. Both England has a very good scoring record against Arsenal. Scored here last season in the 4-1 and scored in the 2-1 win at the Chelsea ground. And still a problem there for Kim Little. Cuthbert's been in terrific form for Chelsea, hasn't she?
Yeah, her and Harder, the opposite side, have got more of a free role in possession. They can come in field and occupy the half space, or they have the licence to go wider and threaten the wide channels. So it's really good, really free-flowing movement in possession, which you know is against. It's hard to mark, and it poses a lot of questions for opposition teams.
Maya, a little bit of physicality there by Cuthbert. Squeezed forward by Leah Balti, the Swiss international. He started the last half-dozen games now for Arsenal. And they can change the pattern of a game in a blink of an eye. It was her birthday yesterday, Pernilla Harder turned 28. And the cross in towards Beth England, who also scored against Arsenal this season in the Continental Cup victory 4-1.
Anderson's delivery all season has been spot on. You know, when you give her time and space out wide, she will deliver those pinpoint crosses that Beth England and Sam Kerr love to get on the end of.
Important, I think, for Beth England that she's given the nod at this stage ahead of Sam Kerr, because she's very much a confidence player.
That's right, I don't think she's really been given an opportunity so far, but having played so well, scoring 2 last week, assisting, you know, it's good when you get back-to-back games like that and your manager shows faith. It does wonders for your confidence.
4th start this season. She scored 3 from her previous 3. We saw the 2 against Everton, of course, and she also scored against Bristol City from the start. She failed to find the back of the net when she started against Birmingham City. Club very much close to your heart.
Yeah, and had a great win yesterday in the second City derby. So it was a great win over Aston Villa.
You were there, weren't you?
Yep, it was a really good, you know, it's a real shame that the fans weren't in, because Villa Park's such a fantastic stadium. And yeah, it really had a derby feel about it, so much emotion and passion from both teams.
Free kick here for Arsenal for the foul by Leupolz. And 3 or more goals scored in total in each of Arsenal's last 5 home games, 0-0 at the moment.
You can tell that was late by Leupolz. It was late, you know, the ball had already gone, and it was maybe just a suggestion to let her know she's there, but, you know, she needs to be careful because that was late and the ball had already gone.
Her signing was the real statement signing in close season, according to the coach. Pernilla Harder was the marquee signing, but it was the fact that Leupolz chose Chelsea ahead of other opportunities. I think was the statement she was talking about. Statement not necessarily just about Chelsea, but about the progress of the whole WSL.
Yeah, I think, you know, when we've got these star-studded players, top internationals looking at the WSL and wanting to go and play in the league, rather, you know, you don't, as a manager, you probably don't have to do much convincing, whereas, you know, maybe 3-4 years ago you did, to stop players going to the NWSL, to the German league, to the French league. But now it's the WSL is up there in its own right, and actually a lot of players want to come here, want to play their football in England. Meadow,
she had a very good career before she came to England with the likes of Turbine Potsdam and Avaldsnes, where she won things. Here's Zinsberger, another former Bayern Munich player. Big names from big clubs arriving at the WSL in this exciting season, where Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City, Everton, if they can regain form, could all be up the top end come the spring. Now, who did that go off? Meyer claims a throw for Arsenal, but it came off her in the end. Here's G. Turning away there from Beth Mead, who's going through a little bit of a goal drought, Beth Mead. She hasn't scored since that big win at West Ham United 7 games ago. Here's Leupolz, then away from her. Meadow back in there foraging for the ball. Cuthbert won it, now G. To Harder. We've already seen her playing in WSL in the 10 role on the right hand side of the forward 3, on the left hand side of the forward 3.
I think when you have top players like Harder, you trust her decision making and her ability to read the game and to, you know, seek out those dangerous spaces, what the opposition giving you, and you trust players like Harder to make sure you exploit them.
Bright. Good solid run by Millie Bright. Kept away though by Lotte Bruver-Moy. Back at Arsenal. She's a Londoner. Dad is Dutch. Mum is English. She plays for the English under-21s, Lotte Bruver-Moy. She was out in the US for a while. She was at North Carolina Tar Heels at the university there. Forgone her final year, had to come back due to the pandemic. And came back and started playing first team football for Arsenal again. Eriksson strong in the challenge. She might have been fouled there as she came through with the ball. Here's Little. He was fouled.
It's really congested in those central areas. I think whichever team is in possession of the ball, that if they're going to go through centrally, they need to move it quick because it's so congested and players are looking to press in there.
Little. Ford. There's Mead on the edge of the penalty area. Meadow in there as well. And might get a second chance to get a cross in. Welty edged it wide. Bit scrappy early on in the opening quarter of an hour. Folks will guide it away.
Yeah, I think neither team have got full control in this game yet. We've seen the chance that Beth Mead had, the header that went off target, but it is quite cagey. Both teams, you know, if they haven't got control of possession, are willing to drop deep and just make it hard for the opposition to pass through them.
Leonie Meyer from Stuttgart in Germany. On the line to Beth Mead from Whitby, up on the northeast coast of the UK. Bram Stoker territory up there. Dracula and the rest of it. Was it Frankenstein? I think that was Mary Shelley, I can't remember. Cleared away to Little. And Meyer follows up. Touch forward to G. That's a lovely touch, isn't it? Very tight on this near touchline, but it was a lovely cushioned touch by G. It
was. It started with the aggressive pressing from Erin Cuthbert, which you know she's going to give you. She sometimes has to be a little bit careful. She's sometimes overzealous and gives fouls away, but if they can win back the ball, they are so good in tight areas like they've just shown Chelsea.
Very creative, Erin Cuthbert. Created 30 chances last season. And here's England looking for G. Got the wrong side there of Jill Roord, who couldn't make a tackle. Pernilla Harder. And that's a free kick. Again, Roord was the wrong side to make that challenge. The Dutch World Cup runner-up, beaten by the US in a final.
I think you can see how smart Harder was then to manipulate her body and get the body in between the player and the ball, so that any contact, any physical contact, she can go down and the referee has to give a foul.
Free kick here for Chelsea, 16 minutes gone. G stands over it. Cuthbert wants a crack at it as well. Elder takes a lot of the set pieces. Cuthbert makes the run and advances. That hit someone very hard. And on we go. We had a little check there. And away by Meyer. Cuthbert good tight control. The Scottish international who signed a new deal recently through to summer of 2023. Friedrich Arsenal's way here for the challenge on Welty. To put herself about Erin Cuthbert, she's a tigerish character out on the football field. 7 starts in the last 8 games. She wasn't born when Scotland's men were at the last major championship, France 98. She wanted to celebrate with a victory here, but I thought she might have been a little bit hard done by there. 53% of the ball so far, Chelsea. People you're seeing in the ground, by the way, TV crews and the substitutes socially distanced because there is a lockdown in the UK. No fans allowed in the ground. And you have to be aware there, the challenge was coming in. It was a fearsome one by Sophie Ingle. Left the Welty on the ground.
I think that shows you Chelsea's intent. They're very good high pressing team, and they don't want to let Arsenal out, and that's what Arsenal struggled with last week against Manchester United. When teams high press, they either get caught on the ball, give an unforced ball away, or they look to go over the pressing team, but they can't hold it up. It's not the strength of Meadow Ford. So it's really interesting to see how Arsenal get on today with Chelsea, who are so aggressive pressing from the front.
Ingle. The ball back to Millie Bright. There was a bit of a push in the back of Ingle after the ball had gone by Kim Littles. Just a reminder that yes, we can be physical as well if we want. But I would would say, in the opening 20 minutes. Chelsea's physicality is winning through. Cut back by Leah Williamson. Comes from a big family of Arsenal fans. Very highly rated by the current England coach, Phil Neville. His next game against Norway, by the way, is off. They were advised they couldn't travel, so all three of England's autumn internationals have now been pulled. That's a foul by Cuthbert. Left Katie McCabe on the ground.
I think you can see, I think Cuthbert does well to get a body, but it's the fact that she uses both hands to push McCabe away and then try and accelerate with the ball. If she hadn't used her hands there, I think that was a good read of the ball.
Good spell in the side for Katie McCabe. You can play higher up the pitch as a left winger, can play through the middle actually up front. Irish international from Kilnamanagh.
I think that would have been the plan had Steph Catley been fit for longer periods. I think she would have, McCabe would have looked to play higher and have those pair work well together and have a connection down that left-hand side, but they've not been able to have that option yet.
Well, Steph Catley, the Australian international who came in the summer, has only played 44 minutes of football. He's played sort of 20 minutes against Reading and then 23 minutes game against West Ham when she picked up a nasty concussion. Anderson. And back here to G. Sunshine on the houses in the far distance. It's been a lovely autumnal day in London. Switched out wide to the right hand side. Good ball to bring in Beth Mead. Meyer on the overlap. She decided to get the cross in towards Meadow, just too high for her.
It was a good look from Beth Mead. I think she waited, which was the right decision, because Leonie Meyer was making the overlapping run. She was weighted, which automatically drops the defender up. You can see Anderson, she's concerned with Meyer, which gives Beth Mead a little bit of extra time to deliver the cross, but just couldn't get it on Miedemar's head.
First player to 50 goals in WSL football. Ellen White has now reached that mark as well. Meadow has 52. Top scorer in the history of the competition. Most WSL goals for one club as well. Arsenal have broken so many WSL records. And these two clubs hold the joint record for the most WSL titles, 3 apiece. Meyer to Williamson. Good press again by Chelsea. High press. Almost a chance there. Very nearly came through to Miedema. Millie Bright just got a touch on it.
Yeah, it was an important touch. And I think all credit to Berger as that deeper sweeper. She read the situation really well.
Chelsea appealing for handball against Chilrord. Halfway through the first half. Problem for Cuthbert. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 0. Brought to you by Atta Football. For more premium European women's football content, visit attafootball.com.
There's a strong challenge by Ford. I think you can see that as soon as the challenge went in, the Chelsea bench were up. It's right in front of them. Weren't happy with that challenge on Cuthbert.
It's a game that promised a great deal, hasn't really delivered yet.
These derby days always bring up such unpredictability. You never know what's going to happen because there's so much passion, emotion, nerves.
Chelsea beat Arsenal in the Continental Cup final last season at Nottingham Forest City ground. Hasn't been a thriller yet, has it? Came around the corner. Little chasing back to try and stop the Chelsea attack building up. Here's Harder, who's come to the left-hand side. Cuthbert went to the far right a few minutes ago. Here's Harder inside the box. Opportunity here for Chelsea if she can get a good cross in. And Williamson will clip it away. Both sides missing key players, of course. Jordan Nobbs out for Arsenal and Frank Kirby still out for Chelsea. Little. There's Beth Mead to the right-hand side. But by the time she got the ball out there, the Chelsea defence was well set. Arsenal need to move the ball with a little bit more urgency here. Leah Velti saw the gap, went for it, and goes down under the challenge. The challenge was by Jonna Andersson, and she seemed to go down in stages, seemed to think about it before she went down.
Yeah, I think she'd already overran the ball. She got past one, and I think she overran the ball. I think it would have been very harsh on Chelsea to get a penalty there. But I think already we're seeing the influence of having Little back into the team, Jill Raw back into the team, because they're ball carriers. Not only can they carry their team up the pitch, carry the ball, but they can stay on the ball for a little bit longer, so that it allows other players to make those vital runs into space.
Meyer, pressure on her by Harder. Big switch of play. Looking for Ford. Elder got the touch now. Cuthbert. Interesting that Chelsea were prepared to switch relatively early on in the game, Harder and Cuthbert.
Yeah, really interesting. I think here's the penalty claim again. I think she was already, what I mean by already ran the ball. You know, her footsteps were, you know, trying to move too quickly, and the ball was already out of her control. She had no control over the situation, Volti there.
Gave the throw for Arsenal. Strong defensive play by Millie Bright. Was a forward earlier on, I think, in her career, Millie Bright. Has gone steadily backwards in her career in terms of position. As the Sheffield United Centre of Excellence originally. Very good horse rider, Millie Bright. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. Her family keep horses. They've got a farm. Very passionate about animals, and yeah, very keen horse riding. And I know Millie very well, and she often speaks about after football, you know, going back into horse riding and looking after the animals and the farm. So it's a really keen passion of hers.
Remarkable, she's playing football really. When she was an infant, she had pneumonia, she had whooping cough. As a child, here she is now, and she plays it off to Magdalena Eriksson. Jonna Andersson. Back to Eriksson, big David Bowie fan. She used to play Heroes by David Bowie before a game. Bright. Eriksson again. Very much part of the Swedish national side. Sophie Ingle very much part of the Welsh side. Captained it on many occasions. She's won shy of 100 internationals. Good spell for her. Erin Cuthbert, 7 starts in the last 8. They took her off last week against Everton with about 10 minutes to go. Meadow here. They don't want to see her go off. Absolutely crucial for Arsenal is Vivianne Miedema.
Yeah, we've just seen that might have been the occasion that where she's struggling with now with the injury, whether it's a knee or shin, but it was quite a contested tackle that.
Football of the Year in England in 2020, voted by the Football Writers Association. She was also the PFA Player of the Year 2019. That's the award voted by the players themselves. 327 games for club and country in her career, Vivianne Miedema. 285 goals. She's 24 years of age. She could go on and score over 500 career goals. Check on her there by Joe Montemurro, big Arsenal fan. Since he was 7 years of age, his brother, I think, travelled from Australia and saw Arsenal in a cup final and went back with a replica shirt.
I think he's looking for a big performance from his team today, already having suffered in 2020 losses to Man City, Chelsea, Man United last week, PSG in Champions League. I think when it comes to these big top games, these big moments, big games, I think his team and his players need to step up more and deliver for him, and I think that's what he's asked of them. So he'll certainly be looking for the performance and also the result today.
Well, there is a question that's asked of Meadow, actually. Will she score in the big games?
Yeah, and that's the difference. That's the difference between great players. Can they do it in the big moments? She certainly has on the international stage. But, you know, and then once they've done it, can they produce it again and again, year after year?
She's in disappointing form for her country at the moment in qualifying for the Euro 21 Championships. 8 games played, just the 10 goals scored then. It's just staggering the amount of goals she scores, but just saying there, these are the games she needs to find the back of the net in WSL football, champion of 2019.
And it's interesting already for Chelsea. I think in games I've watched them this season, they will have already by now, half an hour gone, they normally already create 5, 6, 7 chances. We've seen that down to minimal. I think they've had one decent chance, half a chance really at best. So it's good defending so far from Arsenal.
I wonder if they missed a trick by not starting Van der Donk, because she is creative, but also in a game like this, she can be an irritant to the opposition. She'll put a tackle in, she'll wind up opposition players up, and in a derby match, sort of thing you need really. We got rain now falling. Floodlights are on, early Sunday afternoon. And sunshine and rain.
They're the perfect derby conditions, so the ball moves a little bit quicker off the turf, it zips a little bit quicker for players. That's the intensity that they like to play at.
What a curious anomaly here. I don't think the rain is falling in all parts of the ground. Now it's Mead for Arsenal, trying to go on the outside of Jona Andersson, one of the best left backs in European football. That's a foul. Both players have stayed down.
I think defensively, Andersson and Meadow, you know, you don't get a lot of out of them. They're hard to beat, they're hard to get round. But that was a heavy clash. You can see, I think both players are winded from that.
Yellow card for Leonie Meyer. Hasn't really been her season so far. Came off the bench in the last 2 matches. European champion in 2013 with Germany, won the under-17, under-19 titles with their country, and there we have the rainbow. Will there be a pot of gold underneath it for one of these 2 teams today?
I think Leonie Meyer needs a run of games in this Arsenal team now, you know, injury-free, healthy, because I do rate her. I do think she's a good fullback. I've seen her play very well for the German national team, but I think she needs now a run of games, being healthy, fit to make her impact in this team.
Now a chance for Arsenal. Ford and Lord have combined well throughout the game. McCabe on that left-hand side. Here's G.
G hasn't really got to grips with this game so far. Normally by now we see her controlling, you know, dictating the speed of play, whether she's slowing it down or quickening it up. We normally see her dictating and dominating, but she hasn't really been on the ball much so far.
Don't normally hear Joe Montemurro being as vocal as well as we're hearing today, barking orders from that dugout. Williamson. I wonder whether 1 or 2 of the players are having problems here with the sun, low and glassy, and just saw Kim Little moments ago, shielding her eyes with her hand.
Yeah, it would definitely be coming into play. It's difficult, you know, on one half of the pitch it's fine, and then as soon as you cross that line you can see the sun's glaring, and it's hard. If you lose sight of the ball, if it goes in the air, it's difficult to get it back again.
A chess match here at the moment. Tentative opening gambits. You were telling me about that before, weren't you? Chess gambits.
Queen's Gambit.
Oh. What is it?
Opening move in a chess game.
Oh. You live and learn. Do you know what the first English talkie was? Talking picture that was produced at Elstree? You know what that was?
Nope.
A film called Blackmail by Alfred Hitchcock, produced just down the road from here. Great film studios. Douglas Fairbanks Jr. used to own them. G to the edge of the box. You don't know who Douglas Fairbanks Jr. was, do you?
Pass.
What was the first films you can remember? The Star Wars films, don't you? You're not that old. Not that young, I should say.
Come on, JP, concentrate.
Now here come Arsenal building from the back again. 10 minutes to go in this first half. And Leah Williamson has played in central midfield a couple of times this season. I remember in that position against Reading in particular. Here's Meyer. Getting a decision against Cuthbert, leaves the Chelsea player shaking her head. Didn't think there was much in that either. Williamson. To Ruben Moy, who's operated at fullback this season. He prefers that centre-back role. Would you agree, Laura?
Yeah, I think she's played most of her career, but I do think that Jo Montemurro has said that she's quite versatile. You know, she's good physically, composed on the ball, very confident and dominant in the air too. So she has played across the different positions of the back four. So, you know, and I don't think having signed for Arsenal, she expected to play so many minutes, but because of their long injury list, you know, she's been important and pivotal to them so far.
62 games over in the States for the North Carolina Tar Heels. This is only her 8th in her second spell at Arsenal. Played 13 before she went out to the States. There's Leah Williamson, Arsenal through and through. Don't forget this game brought to you by Atta Football, and for more premium European women's football content, visit attafootball.com and you'll see and read there about their ideals and what they want to achieve through coverage of women's football around the globe. And I hope you're well wherever you are in the globe watching this game in these current trying circumstances. Minnie Bright missed a minute this season. Minnie Bright, 847 minutes. And has it back again. A great movement up front. Skipped away from Harder. As you can see, he's gone back to that right-hand side. Not too sure whether Chelsea will want Beth England as withdrawn as she was there. I think they'll want her higher up the pitch to stretch the pitch. Forward, here's Roard going to ground. And Minamar all the way back there. Looking forwards, dropping deep. They're getting frustrated, the two centre forwards. Here's Williamson. And Beth Mead. 4 wins in their last 5 games in all for Arsenal. The defeat at Manchester United, of course. Beaten away by Chelsea in the Continental Cup, by Manchester City in the FA Cup. Here's Kim Little and Miedemar, her first real opportunity, and it was closed in the end by Sophie England. Spins back to Anne Katchin-Berger. She did it a little bit there.
Yeah, I think she was trying to move the defender. I think she took a little bit too time, and I think she was trying to reset herself, but it was slick play from Arsenal. You know, they're moving the balls through the units. I think Jill Roord played a great ball into Kim Little in that centre midfield area, but but you're right. I think when Meadow had it, I think she was in two minds. I think she was just trying to be too perfect with the shot, but great defending by Sophie Ingle in the end.
Williamson, who joined the club as a 9-year-old. Ruben Moy, that's sloppy. And coach won't like that. She will. Emma Hayes, wrapped up against the autumnal chill, despite the sunshine. So successful, Emma Hayes, but she cut her teeth as a coach in the USA with the Long Island Lady Riders and Iona College, New Rochelle. She was a coaching consultant at Washington Freedom and technical director of the New York Red Flash. Had a little spell at Chicago as well.
I think Chelsea have tried that ball a few times over the top, but I don't think it's on. I don't think Beth England's running those channels. I don't think it's connecting. So, you know, maybe they need to play through this Arsenal team.
Competitive midfield area we're seeing, and that's just second sloppy pass in a matter of moments by an Arsenal player. It's Leah Volti, and he will not be happy with that.
You are right, JP, though. I haven't seen him up as animating and as vocal. Normally he's quite a reserved, together coach who, you know, sits down and watches the game and tries to maybe not get too emotional. But today he's certainly, his body language is verbalising a lot of his instructions.
Towards Beth England, she was onside. Cuthbert. Beth England got dumped to the turf by Ruben Moy after the ball had gone, but the referees allowed Chelsea to go on, and Ingle. Melda. Good challenge, well read. So defending by McCabe. Fool is across her as well to protect her. She will take the throw. Magdalena Eriksson. He missed one game this season. It was against Everton. We'll look back ruefully at that game. Chelsea, it's their only defeat. It came in the Cup quarter-final.
See, that's that ball again. I think Arsenal and Zinsberger, the back four, and Zinsberger, I think they're happy to defend that long ball. You know, it's not accurate. They can drop off and just shield it out of play, or shield it back into Zinsberger. Very comfortable.
Well, you can't make a silk purse out of a pig's ear, as my grandma used to say, and you have to say it as you see it. It's not been good, has it?
No, I think it's been really cagey. I think we've seen flashes of good interchange play, but that's about it. We have seen a lot of unforced errors, late challenges, misplaced passes, which is, you know, uncommon for both these teams.
Reflective of the importance of this. They know how competitive the league is going to be. There's the man who was a player at Neuchâtel in Switzerland and in Serie C in Italy for a little while. His first coaching job was with a club called Green Gully in Australia in 2001. I wonder then if he ever knew or ever felt he'd be coaching his beloved Arsenal. G. That's decent pressure in the end by Arsenal. It paid off, and Ford goes for goal, and it hits the woodwork. That's the closest we've come to a goal. Bounced off the woodwork twice, punched away, nearly came back to Arsenal, and eventually it's away wide. That's extraordinary.
Big mistake by Chelsea, and Ingle, a misplaced pass. I don't think she looked where she was going. It was quite routine. But that was close for Arsenal. They really should have done better, but Arsenal, you know, what a fantastic chance to pounce on that mistake.
I was almost going to say that they won't get any benefit unless they press with more than one. It was Meadow pressing and no one else, but then suddenly they got numbers forward, and the effort hits the bar and comes down again and hits the bar twice. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, me neither. And I think again in this fixture in the Continental Cup, where Chelsea ran out 4-1 winners, the one goal that was scored by Arsenal was scored by Caitlin Ford, and it was exactly the same, a long-range shot that beat Carly Telford in goal that day, but what a fine strike that was, because Berger, a little bit lower, Berger was beaten. I don't think she was quite expecting it. The turnover happened far too quick.
In good form forward, she's got a winning mentality, won the league 3 times in Australia with Sydney and with Perth Glory. Travelled around, had a couple of years at Sky Blue in the US. And the keeper's come a long way out there, and Meadow is challenged by her again. And she still hasn't got back quickly. Here's Meadow, and eventually it's seen away by Eriksson. But Ann-Katrin Berger took a chance there.
I think she was lucky, JP. I think we saw last week against Everton in the things she had to do. She was a little bit sloppy, lost concentration. She committed herself to that run and tackle, but when she got there, I don't think she dealt with the situation well.
Good decisive defending by Eriksson. And we're into stoppage time at the end of the half, a half that Arsenal is finishing strongly here.
Is this the first corner we're seeing?
It is the first corner of the game. McCabe swings it in, left-footed. Was attacked well, Williamson up from the back, but she couldn't get over the ball and headed it up and over the bar as a consequence. But Arsenal finishing the half well.
They are. We know in these derby games that individual mistakes and set pieces are so crucial. They're often what normally wins the games. But that strike was fantastic. And look at Beth Mead, all credit to her for following in, trying to force an error. Does Berger get a touch on it? I thought from that shot she might have got a touch on it, but I'm not too sure.
They've scored 24 goals in London derbies this season. And in the first half here, they hit 9 at West Ham, 4 against Spurs in the Cup, 6 against Spurs in the league, 4 against London City Lionesses in the League Cup. 1 in that match that Laura was telling you about, the Continental Cup defeat at Chelsea when Caitlin Ford got that goal. I guess that's just edged the half their way, the way they finished it. It's been so very, very tight. And can they get forward again here now? Ford sees Meadow ahead of her. Just dwelt on a little bit and the chance is gone. So decision making hasn't been as accurate, as quick as it might have been in this game. As we approach the half-time whistle now, nothing between the two sides. I don't think there's going to be much between them come the end of the season. Certainly don't think there'll be a team running away with the title like Arsenal did a couple of years ago. Last attack of the half, peters out. Chelsea have a throw-in and the referee has a glance across at the assistant and they've confirmed that time is up, and this will be the last moment of the half, you would think. As soon as it comes back into play, I'm sure she'll blow. And she does. Well, it's a half that finally livened up and lived up to a bit of its potential. He wasn't very pleased with what he saw, though, for long periods, sloppy passing. Arsenal finishing the stronger, though, with the 2 efforts that hit the bar. A half-time here at Kings Meadow. It's Arsenal 0, Chelsea 0. No goals in the first half. Laura Bassett, very, very tight. Arsenal did finish that first 45 on top. Have they worked out now how to get round Chelsea as the players come out for the second half?
I think it's still quite an even game. I think that was an unforced error from Ingle, sloppy back pass, didn't check her surroundings, and I think Arsenal just capitalised in that moment. But really, I think the message at half-time would be both for same teams: tidy up your play, make sure your pass gets there, and start to use the wide areas. I think especially Chelsea, their fullbacks are so dangerous.
So often we've seen Sophie Ingle as the back player in a middle three, the defensive midfield player. Melanie Leupolz wants to play as an 8, but sometimes she's played in there as a defensive midfield player this season. At times I thought in the first half Leupolz and Ingle were on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, they did play together last week again when they played Everton, so they're starting to build a connection. But you're right, sometimes they do look to get into the same spaces to receive the ball, and G's so high now, she's supporting England as that second centre forward, so sometimes they do get in each other's way, but I'm sure they're working it out. But I think the key to this game is Harder and Cuthbert. I think because they're so creative, their movement's so good, they need to get them on the ball more.
All smiles, Sam Kerr So it looks as if there's going to be a significant half-time change here, and the Australian superstar will be coming on. Well, Millie Bright there shivering against a cold autumnal wind. We've had sunshine, we've had rain that looked as if it was sleet at one point, rainbows as well, but it looks as if Sam Kerr will be coming on. I can still see Bethany England out there. No change, I don't think, for Arsenal as they warm up for the second half.
It'll be interesting to see the fitness levels of Kim Little and Rord, you know, not having match fitness. It'll be really interesting to see, you know, whether their standards falter in the second half and who they look to bring on, and at what point Van der Donk. We can see Chelsea making a change. That's a big statement. You know, Sam Kerr will have 45 minutes now to really make a change and make a difference in this game.
Now Sam Kerr comes on then for Chelsea, and it's Melanie Leupolz who won't be coming on for this second half. I've just been past some rather dreadful news that the family of Ray Clements has just put out a statement saying that the former Liverpool and Spurs and England goalkeeper has passed away after a long illness. He was a very good friend of mine and a good friend of football, and he will be sadly missed, and was a wonderful guy, and I will always remember Ray Clements with a big smile on his face, talking about the thing that he loved. Talking about football, was with me in the commentary box on many occasions. Sad news indeed. Start of the second half here, Arsenal 0, Chelsea 0, and Sam Kerr is on then. And your thoughts on that, Laura?
Really good, really aggressive change at half-time. It looks like straight away Kerr and England will be play closer together. Two central strikers, play closer together, get a connection, and try and keep the ball in Arsenal's final third to create some more chances.
Well, Sam Kerr has 3 goals this season, but the criticism of her is that she's had a lot of chances to score those goals. She's on the left-hand side there. It comes in towards England. That's the first chance of the second half, and Chelsea very much here starting on the offensive the second period.
I don't think Beth England realised what such a good chance that was. Great pick-up by Harder. Look, she's central in between the two centre-backs. She's got so much more time. She could even maybe bring it onto her preferred right foot. That's a big chance that is for Chelsea to take.
Look how high they're playing now, and all of a sudden the Arsenal defence has not one with Beth England, but 2, 3, 4 to think about. And I think in that previous attack, the fact that Sam Kerr was on the right-hand side of the Arsenal back four was a worrying thing for them, and they were concerned about it. That's where they left the space in there for Bethany England. I mean, Sam Kerr, such a prolific goal scorer. She was saying a few weeks ago she had her first pre-season really since 2012, because she's always travelled between Australia and the USA to play football constantly. She hasn't had a period training with a club. She had plenty of chances in the Community Shield, English Super Cup if you like, against Manchester City at Wembley. She had chances in the first league matches of the campaign and didn't score fluently. But she's on here. Come off the bench for the last 11 minutes against Everton. Scored recently in the win against Manchester City, which was a significant performance by them. That was in the league. Confirmation of the two teams at the bottom of your screen. G pushing forward down that left-hand side. It means that Harder will be in the middle now, rather than being out wide to one side. She'll be in the sort of number 10 role, if you like. Cuthbert on one side and G on the other. I think already, Laura, they look a much better balanced team.
I think the intensity of play has risen already in this second half. It's better already than it was for the whole entire first half. But I think Arsenal, you know, they're deep in their own half and they need to tidy up on possession, make sure that they regain the ball, secure it so they can get up, because at the minute Chelsea are pinning them in.
They turn to the girl who admitted that when she was a youngster hated soccer. Sam Kerr, her uncles and her dad played Aussie rules, and she played Aussie rules until the age restrictions stopped her when she was 12. She's gone on to become one of the great goal scorers in association football. There's a little bit of sloppiness there for Chelsea. And Anderson couldn't keep it in play. A lot of weight on the shoulders of Sam Kerr. From the moment she walked into Chelsea last December from the Chicago Red Stars, for whom she scored 35 goals in 43 games. She's prolific in the NWSL football, highest ever scorer in W League history in Australia. Can she make the difference then? Bethany England is still on the pitch, which is significant. They haven't gone 1 for 1. Here's Katie McCabe. England has this terrific scoring record against Arsenal. She's scored in their last 4 meetings. Ingle. Had a little glance at the referee there. She thought that Vivian Miedema had clipped her heels. And back by Lotte Ruben-Moy. Williamson. Now here's Leah Volti. Williamson drove the pass out. Broad. And then here's McCabe. Not a very good pass there again by Lotte Ruben-Moy. Really, really poor. And Leah Williamson, an expressive gesture there of frustration and annoyance.
It was, I think it was felt by everyone. I think Arsenal had done well to solve the press. You know, Jill Roord had done so well to get on the ball, and I think they wanted to go forward, but for some reason they checked back. And then just unforced errors, sloppy play. I
think they've missed Jennifer Beattie this season. She's been out a couple of times through injury. She's missing at the moment. That's too far off the foot of Sam Kerr. Jennifer Beattie hasn't played since the middle of last month. She missed the start. She was injured in the Champions League game against Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, I think all credit to Leah Williamson. She's had to play with so many different centre-back partnerships, and once you start breaking those up, her and Jen Beattie were playing so well together, but she's played with Lotte Ruben-Moy, with Schneiderbeck. You know, it starts to, you start to play differently and try and work out how to play best with each other, and it just sometimes disrupts your game.
Schneiderbeck missing again also today. Emma Hayes on her feet in that dugout area. There's going to be many a tight tussle in the weeks and months ahead of us. It's going to be a gripping title race this year in WSL football. Good ball round the corner by Beth Mead. And into Miedema. Millie Bright came and stole it away. Strong game again by Millie Bright today. In she steps once more and brings it commandingly away. And looks for Bethany England. Vanilla Hard is arriving in the middle, gets her head to it, comes back to Cuthbert. Crucial block by McCabe, that might have been going in.
It's a great move by Chelsea. They're really starting to zip the ball now. What a fantastic touch that was by Beth England, to take it on the outside of her foot while she's running. That takes some skill.
Arsenal had the biggest title-winning margin ever in WSL history in 2018-19 when they won it by 7 points. Last season Chelsea won it, of course, on points per game basis, and they nearly moved towards all 3 here today with that one.
I think Erin Cuthbert was a little bit calm and collected. Normally we see her volley them in with the laces. I think she tried to be too precise with the side foot.
Eriksson, calm as you like. Oh, and the goalkeeper got herself into a pickle there. She really didn't look very decisive with the ball at her feet. Under pressure there from Beth Mead.
Indecision. I think she looked to play it out to the right side, changed her mind, but all credit to Beth England, she stays at her. But I've already said, I think we saw this type of play with Berger last week against Everton. She managed to get away with it, but already we've seen a couple of instances.
Here comes that corner kick then. Ruben Moy was at the far post at 5'10", an aerial threat. And again, couldn't get over the ball, just like Leah Williamson in the first half, and the header plopped wide.
It was a good ball in. Again, I think Millie Bright just does just enough just to put her off.
Ruben Moy was there to head it away. Kim Little. Maya back to Williamson. And I do think there will be those in the England camp. They won't vocalise their thoughts to Emma Hayes, nor should they. But I think they'll privately be thinking, what does Carly Telford need to do to get a chance in the Chelsea starting lineup? The England squad player has played this season at Manchester United. She played against Arsenal in the Continental Cup 4-1 win. But she hasn't had a great deal of football. Away by Zinsberger. Kim Little, clever, drew the foul, knew what she was doing, anticipated that G would come rampaging in.
Yeah, she does so well. Look, a no-touch turn by Kim Little. She knows what exactly the angle that the pressure's in and just lets the ball and her body shape do the work.
Ruben Moy, touch was heavy. She was too strong though for harder in the challenge. 10 minutes gone in the second half. With me with the run. Going to take on Jonna Andersson, who's won that particular battle, I would say, today, wouldn't you? Here come Arsenal again. Me back into the box. That's a very good intervention at the last moment by Eriksson to stop her. And a brighter start to the second half, though, the England player, Beth Mead.
Yeah, good reaction. You know, she doesn't get past Anderson 1v1, but she makes it up for tackling G. And then here she's just looking to find someone. But all credit to Meadow, Bright, Ingold. They're in good defensive positions.
Corner kick then for Arsenal. Looks as if it'll be Katie McCabe to take it. She'll swing it in. That's their second corner, the second corner of the game. The Irish international, signed from Shelbourne Ladies, will take it. Get it away at the near post, not a great corner in. Now they've got it out. Eriksson should complete the clearance. She doesn't. Chance here for Arsenal then. A little bit scrappy, that Chelsea defending then. Arsenal having a decent spell here, Laura.
Yeah, we don't normally see Chelsea slice at things in the back line. They're normally composed and make good contact, so we don't normally see them like that. So you're right, I think Arsenal are on top, edging it a little bit, but I'm disappointing from McCabe's corner. Normally her set piece deliveries are spot on, but she couldn't beat the first post there.
Bolte and Williamson cut a good ball into Kim Little. She is under pressure, but it was a decent ball by Williamson because she was under pressure herself, and Little dealt with it supremely well. Low centre of balance, Kim Little. Difficult to shrug off it, but she protects the ball really well. She was the 2016 BBC Women Footballer of the Year in the UK. It was before she picked up that very bad cruciate knee ligament injury. Third highest ever Scottish goal scorer, but hasn't had a sniff of a chance here today, Kim Little. That's a poor clearance out again by Williamson. They're going to be made to pay for one of these. Here's Sam Kerr. As she ran forward there, Sam Kerr. Chelsea had one more blue shirt in the penalty area. Arsenal had 6 red shirts back. They need to commit more bodies forward quicker.
Yeah, I think they do. I think it was a quick turnover, I think, and then when Sam Kerr picks up the ball, she's so quick, so explosive that it's hard sometimes to keep up with her. But you'd expect Sam to make a better decision in that moment. But all credit to Ruben Moy. She stood up tall, stood up strong, and put the onus on Sam Kerr to make the mistake instead of diving in.
Just to remind you, football fans everywhere will Be sad to hear the news that the former England, Liverpool and Tottenham goalkeeper Ray Clements has passed away, aged 72. In a statement, the Clements family said he passed away peacefully today, surrounded by his loving family. After fighting so hard for such a long time, he's now at peace and in no more pain. And that's the end of the statement. He was always great company, and his football stories of Liverpool, Tottenham and England days engaged us for many hours on our many travels. Here's Pernilla Harder for Chelsea, travelling down there, left-hand side. Pinged it straight at the hands of Manuela Zinsberger.
I think Arsenal have done quite well today in order to contain Pernilla Harder. You know, but like we saw last week against Everton, it only takes one moment. She's got the capability to dribble past most defenders and have a great shot. So, you know, you're just never too sure.
Chance here, though, for Beth England. Oh, and she doesn't often miss like that. She got it all wrong. Rushed onto it, no composure, and sliced it wide. Another unforced error at the back by Arsenal. Poor by Williamson. Cuthbert set it up. Should have been a goal.
Really should have been. But I think in the last 10 minutes we've seen Wouben-Moy and Williamson just make those unforced errors. You know, it's difficult enough to play against the high press without just passing it to the opposition forward.
McCabe slid in with Mjelde. Here's Millie Bright, who for me has been the game's outstanding defender. Mjelde back to a goalkeeper, and Arsenal now know to pressurise Ann-Katrin Berger when the ball is at her feet. Millie Bright again, and another astute pass by her. Trying to set up Sam Kerr. There were only 3 players in the WSL last season who passed the ball more accurately than Millie Bright, more times than her. McCabe with the throw. Mjelde returns it. Someone needs to bring the ball down and play a little bit here. Here's Zinsberg with the ball at her feet. The Austrian international. After this, there is an international break with the players of the WSL. They'll be going away with their countries, COVID permitting. It is a concern for the managers, who have seen players come back from their international training or their international matches in 1 or 2 examples, both in women's and men's game, and then they then have to isolate and miss matches. Here's Little. And lots of Wouben-Moy. Again, the game is subdued, gone back into a walking pace, Laura.
Yeah, but I think Chelsea are quite happy for that, especially when Arsenal are in possession. Look, you know, they mix up the pace of their press. They're quite happy for Wouben-Moy, Williamson to have the ball, and then all of a sudden you'll see him sprint to try and put them under that pressure and try and force them into an error and make a poor decision. So I think we're still cat and mouse, we're still chess playing, just still both teams trying to probe.
Now the ball down the right-hand side with Beth Mead. He was tumbled to the ground, she back defending. Just get a sense that when Arsenal do move the ball into the final third, they're moving it with a little bit more zip than Chelsea are at the moment. Beth Mead just tagged there by the South Korean international.
Arsenal have had more set pieces so far in this game, and they're dangerous. You know, the quality of McCabe and Mead on the ball, Chelsea really need to be careful. They've had the better chances from set pieces, and you could just feel like, you know, at any moment there could be the difference.
Chelsea have committed 10 fouls in the game, Arsenal just the 2 according to the official stats. Arsenal now have 55% of possession, 7 efforts on goal to Chelsea's 6. She is pointing to the referee the exact spot at which the foul was committed. She was cautioned for the offence. McCabe will either swing this one in, or it could come away from goal. Here's McCabe looking for Little, and back defending and lifting it away with the greatest of ease was Jonna Andersson. Defence is still on top. Corner ball here though for Arsenal. McCabe will take it. Needers across there with Williamson, Miedemar, Wuvermoy and Roord. A lot of height in there for Arsenal. They have a superiority in the air. Will it count? Williamson challenges the goalkeeper. That's fine handling by Ann-Katrin Berger. That'll settle her down a little bit. And she looks for the quick release to Sam Kerr. Good defending though by Leonie Meyer, coming across all the way from right back to left.
Yeah, she's read that situation well. That's exactly what you need to do. Stop Chelsea counter-attack, especially Sam Kerr, because that's when her attributes come to fruition.
And Chelsea are going to make a substitution. Now she's been badly missed. Vera Wrighton. Well, she didn't play last week. She wasn't even in the squad, missing, and she's going to replace Bethany England. And a shake of her head there and a little bit of a grumble tells the story. So she didn't have a long time up front with Kerr as a genuine top two. Only the 19 minutes, and on comes Guro Wrighton to replace her. Very talented. Some of the first two games of the season. Played very well. And she missed last weekend, as we were saying. Has 2 goals for her 6 games so far. Norwegian international. That's well played there. Back it comes on the edge of the penalty, looking for Caitlin Ford. I think she's been the brightest of the Arsenal forwards. Mead's had her moments. We've seen very little of Miedemar, but then you often see very little of Miedemar. She pops up with a hat-trick.
Exactly, that's right. But I think Millie Bright has played her well. I think we saw last week when Amy Turner for Manchester United was stepping in front of Miedemar, being on the front foot, stopping the service to her. And I think that's exactly what Millie Bright's done today. She stayed calm, read the situations, and then just stepped in, used her physicality to stop Miedemar getting comfortable in possession.
Was Beth England hard done by to go off?
Look, you know, I think it could have been any one of the Chelsea forwards. I think sometimes you just have to try something different. If you're Emma Hayes, you know, why not just change it up? But I do think that Guro Wrighton can assist or can score and can be the difference. In this fixture in the Continental Cup game, Wrighton did score 2. So why not? You know, she's already done it in this occasion against this team, and everybody knows that, so give her a chance.
Won that one 4-1, won the Continental Cup last season 2-1 when Beth England scored 2 goals. The winner actually came 2 minutes into stoppage time after Williamson had scored for Arsenal to make it 1-1. Chelsea won here last season 4-1. Wrighton scored in that league win as well. .66 minutes gone. This match brought to you by Atta Football. For more premium European women's football content, visit attafootball.com. Chelsea unbeaten in the league so far this term, and now 2 months shy of 2 years unbeaten in the league. January 19 was their last defeat at home to Birmingham. Arsenal on the attack though with Mead. Strong run, and we know she's got a lash of a shot, and Magdalena Eriksson just stepped across in the end.
I think you saw by Mead's reaction there, she shrugged her shoulders, put her arms out, because I'm not too sure if she had much other options but to shoot.
She only got the 1 goal this season, but she had 5 assists because she does create for others, and there was no other around her.
Exactly, she always looks, she's a team player, she looks to support her other forwards and teammates.
Long cross to the far stick and headed away by Millie Bright. It's a joy to see Beth Mead doing well for England. In comes the cross, punched away. Good punch by Ann-Katrin Berger. Decisive in the air. Mead again, and it's blocked away. And a really strong spell here for Arsenal, asking questions of that Chelsea defence.
Chelsea defence is staying firm, concentrating and defending diligently, but you just want Arsenal to be a little bit more creative and have a little bit better delivery on these set pieces, because it could be vital.
European Champions League runner-up with PSG and Katrin Berger. Lots of experience, she'll need it in these next few moments. Millie Bright, decisive header away. Headed out by Meadow, I think it was. No, it was a Meadow now. Arsenal back on the attack. Ford finds the goalkeeper. Here's Pernilla Harder. At full stretch, right and out wide. In comes across by Jonna Andersson. Here Williamson clears. "20 minutes to go. Who's going to win it, Laura?"
I think if it doesn't end up 0-0, I think Chelsea will edge it. I think they still have Niamh Charles on the bench. I think she's a great 1v1 defender, attacker and defender, and can deliver that cross or pass that's needed. So I think they still have the depth, Chelsea, and they still have the individual match winners.
And I still think that Van der Donk can come on and have a big influence on the game for Arsenal. Sam Kerr got a bit of a buffeting there, but the referee had a glance, and overall I think he's done really well. Seeing a lot of the ball now is Beth Mead. Ward. Here's Williamson high up the pitch. He'll head it down to Mead again. She stubbed her foot out.
What I would say is that it's so important for Arsenal not to lose this game, to lose back-to-back. You know, from one week to the next, you know, they can't lose 2 WSL games against 2 top opposition in 7 days.
Here's Mead, who really came through as an England player in the She Believes Cup in the USA in 2019 when she scored 2 against Brazil and Japan. Had a terrific tournament there, and what is a very good tournament each year. Hope it can go ahead in 2021. Here's Kerr now, going ahead of the Arsenal defence. Sam Kerr, chance here for Chelsea. Brilliant challenge. Side-saving challenge by Katie McCabe.
And that's the warning that Sam Kerr, you always have to defend properly and beware of the space. A mistake by Wooben Moy, and Kerr's in. But great recovery defending from McCabe. Look at her, she's putting in a shift. She knows get goal side. A little bit of a bigger touch, and there she is. McCabe's dealing with the situation. Great read, great tackle.
Sam Kerr was flying there. And through the very good Perth, Western Australia Training Centre, Sam Kerr. Production Centre for Talent. Mjelde, G. Dangerous ball into the box, looking for Kerr, and there comes back out, and Harder denied. 0-0 it stays.
Ball into the box, and look, both centre-backs were preoccupied with Kerr. Great ball from G, look at them, and then exactly that falls to Pernilla Harder perfectly. She's got to finish that, JP.
Blocked by Leah Williamson. Chelsea knocking on the door now. Harder's still there, Kerr in the box. Tried to play it back to her. And Arsenal cleared away with Leah Voltic. Poorly. Here's Ingle. Chelsea pressing high now. Gura Wrighton got caught there, I thought. And it stayed down. I thought she got caught in the face, Gura Wrighton, as she turned away from the Arsenal player. Let's have another look. I might see it in a minute. This is the one that Williamson blocks in the end.
We saw Harder score a fantastic goal last week against Everton, but she won't get an easier chance than that. Look, perfect penalty spot. And again, yes, she does have players to beat and a goalkeeper, but you've got to be more composed and make your shot selection better.
Could have bent it instead of the right foot. inside the right-hand post as she saw. Well, it's a problem to her wrist, it would seem. Just back in the side, off the bench today, Guro Reiten. Another winning mentality brought into the club. She won the league twice with Lillestrøm in Norwegian football. She was the league top scorer there for a couple of years. More of a creator of chances since she's been in English football. She created 42 of them last season. Her mum was a player as well back in the day. Big Steven Gerrard fan. You're right, aren't we all?
Exactly, yes, 100%.
Now, concern for her. All the Chelsea players went across to speak to Emma Hayes. All the Arsenal players in a huddle around Joe Montemurro.
It's a big 15 minutes left. Concentration, focus for defenders. You know, you don't want to give this game up by a mistake or an error, which we've seen plenty of already. But you don't want to lose this game on one of those.
Montemurro keeping his cards fairly close to his chest at the moment. Chelsea have made a couple of significant changes. 16 minutes to go. And it's a free kick for Arsenal. Foul on Meyer. Got caught by Ji Soo-young, who has to just watch it a little bit.
I think Meyer and McCabe have defended better during this game. I think Williamson and Wooburn Moy have showed their frailties a little bit when they were being pressed, but I think the two fullbacks have definitely done well.
Meadow. Put out by McCabe. Here's Kurt. He nearly broke to Pernilla Harder, who closes down on McCabe. It's an Arsenal ball. There's been a question since World Cup 19, really, who would be the better defensive partner for Steph Houghton for England. Leah Williamson coming into the reckoning there. She can also play fullback. Millie Bright ended the World Cup poorly with the sending off against USA, but I don't think there's any doubt on current form who you would pick for that England position. I think Millie Bright, since she returned from France in those World Cup finals, has been absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, she has. She seems to be getting better and better with every game, and she's learning, she's growing, she's becoming and developing into a leader. And she's played in her career, she's played in so many big games, and to have big game experience, you know, is vitally important, and she will continue to grow, I've got no doubt.
Chi looking for Guro Reiten, who's pressurising back there. Arsenal get it away. Going through another itty-bitty part of the game here. No great cohesion. Nowhere near as entertaining as Manchester United 2, Manchester City 2 was yesterday, and some of the quality football played in the first half by Manchester City breathtaking, but they seemed to run out of steam, and Manchester United showed all the qualities that have taken them from nowhere through early days of existence up through WSL 2 into the top flight and top of the table. Here's Millie Bright. Meadow. Didn't quite stick there with Cuthbert. And Aaron Cuthbert's been asked to fill a number of roles: wide left, wide right, scuttling back, working hard. There's a problem for Millie Bright. They don't want to take any chances. They have the London City Lionesses next up in the Continental Cup. She's hobbling away there, Millie Bright.
Yeah, she looks in a lot of pain. Knowing Millie Bright, she's physical. She'll, you know, she's often playing with knocks and bumps and bruises. She's such a strong, resilient character that you know, we don't often see her go down, or we don't often see her miss matches through injuries. She's a really robust physical presence in the back line.
That Continental Cup game is on Tuesday, then they head off to the international break after that. Point will do for her side in that last of the group stage games to get them through to the knockout phases of the Continental Cup. 6 groups this season on a regional basis. Top teams go through, with the best 2 runners-up also going through to the last 8. They've won their opening games against Arsenal and Tottenham handsomely.
Really interesting that Arsenal have a North London derby against Tottenham, so you know that won't be no easy feat. Although Tottenham are yet to have a win in the league, you know, they are looking more convincing in the Continental Cup fixtures.
Well, London City Lionesses have been the sort of the whipping boys, if you like, in that competition, haven't they? A tough group for them, with it being regionalised up against those 3 WSL teams.
Tough group, but great experience for London City Lionesses and our championship side. You know, it's a chance in the Continental Cup to test yourselves against the best players in the WSL, the best teams, you know, and to gauge where they're at. It's a really good test.
And Meadow will take the throw. 10 minutes to go. And that 3 seconds there encapsulated the last 5 or 6 minutes. Ruben will let it go out of play. There was no great urgency of Chelsea to press. You get into the last 10 seconds, 0-0 in a London derby of such importance, and I think you get into that mindset. Hang on, we could settle for this, which is a dangerous mindset. Here's McCabe. Gets it back again. Another chance taken at the back for Arsenal. Need to improve on their distribution. Lily Bright. And a misjudgment there by Eriksson coming across. She led with her left foot to get it away. On the wrong side, really. Cuthbert will go back to an earlier foul here.
I think if Arsenal are being ruthless at this minute, you've just seen Millie Bright get her knee heavily strapped. So, you know, surely you play the ball in behind and give Meadow a run up against her.
Is that for Cuthbert coming from an offside position there? I think it was. Arsenal looking to bounce back from that defeat in Manchester United. On the attack here, last 10 minutes, McCabe deflected into the box. Millie Bright was struggling to get there. Caitlin Ford gets a shout from Vivian Miedemar. Played it back to her. And Miedemar's shot, according to the referee, is deflected away wide for a corner. Chelsea are protesting.
This is a great spell for Arsenal. Again, I think if Ford really commits to that, I think she has a touch. I think she can get a touch on it, goal bound, but
corner's been taken, in it comes. It's another one. Closest they've come to scoring. The 2 efforts from Caitlin Ford, the 1 effort from Caitlin Ford that bounced off the bar twice in the first half.
I think if Arsenal players really believe and throw their bodies and really attack the ball, I think they can get something. You need more conviction.
Mead will take the corner. Ford in the mix. Mead takes it. Williamson coming in. Header. Oh, she has to hit the target from there. Great run in. Well timed. Good leap. Got between the defenders and horribly missed the target.
It had everything, didn't it? Like you said, the timing, the jump, the leap, just that connection.
8 minutes to go. And at the back of my mind, I can hear the name of Vivian Miedemar. I just wonder yet whether she'll have the final word in the game. McCabe. Cuthbert won it back. And a bit of a wasteful ball forward there. Offside. They're querying the decision, but there was an offside in the build-up. Caitlin Ford wants an explanation. I remember Gary Lineker saying to me after he was hauled off in the Swedish European Championships back in, was that 92, something like that. He was taken off in England's final game. He said he only needed one moment, and he knew the moment was going to come in the game. Graham Taylor took him off. He could have become England's record goal scorer that day. He said, I knew I could get the goal. If I had one chance, I'd get a goal. And I wasn't given that chance to get that goal. And Meadow will be thinking the same thing. Give me a chance, give me an opportunity.
100%, 100% she will. I think that's the mindset of those top centre forwards. I just need one moment. Give me the ball, give me the ball. They always have to believe. Don't get frustrated. Just keep on believing. She's
wide here now in a deep position, but she's gone into the box. Cuthbert got back at him. McCabe's cross is dealt with. Ingle protecting that Chelsea centre-back partnership again. Meadow, 84 goals in 89 games for Arsenal since moving from Bayern Munich. Magnificent season for her already. 14 goals in all, 2 hat-tricks, 9 goals in the last 4 games. Came off Cuthbert. Millie Bright sweeps up for Chelsea and sets them on the attack. Here's Sam Kerr, rightens to the left-hand side. Harders through the middle. Here's G in support. 5.5 minutes to go. There will be a significant period of stoppage time. Ingle switches it. Will Chelsea yet win it? Jonna Andersson gets it back to her by her club and international captain. In comes the box into the penalty area and shovelled away. Five minutes to go, and again brought to you by Atta Football. For more premium European women's football content, please go to attafootball.com. Good stuff on there. Here's Meadow to run at Millie Bright. Meadow into the box. Can she finish the far post? She didn't finish, but she set up surely the winner for Beth Mead. 5 minutes to go. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0, and it's been coming for the last 2 or 3 minutes. We thought Meadow would have a big role to play yet, and she played that role.
What a fantastic run that is. We've already said Millie Bright struggling with her knee, heavily strapped. What a fantastic ball. And the timing of Beth Mead, she knows she keeps up with Meadow. She's running at great pace. Great ball, she's put it on a plate for Beth Mead. Berger had no chance. What great combination, but that's the first time that we've seen Meadow pick up the ball and really drive at the heart of the Chelsea defence.
First goal she's scored since the big 9-goal haul at West Ham United on September the 12th. And he blows hard on that touchline, Emma Hayes. Well, should she have taken Millie Bright off?
It's a big decision. Look, none of us know her previous history with the knee injury. You know, you just don't know. So that's a big call, and only Millie can probably, and the medics can probably make that call. But who knows, that's on them for making that decision.
1-0 to Arsenal. Time is precious now for Chelsea. They've sent on Niamh Charles, and they've sent on Jessie Fleming as well. Now there's the attacking prowess you were talking about earlier on. The 21-year-old England under-21 international Niamh Charles. And he had the one start this season, that was against Arsenal in the big Continental Cup victory. But the coach likes a little fighter with exciting pace on either side. She says of the player signed from Liverpool in the summer. Can they turn this around? The 2 substitutes. Jessie Fleming, the other player on, the Canadian-born player. Canada's second youngest international. Midfield player, box-to-box midfield player, good feet. And 6th appearance off the bench since signing in the summer. Came from the UCLA Bruins. And here is Meadow.
We get to see now whether Arsenal can shut out a game, what their game management styles like, and that's exactly what you want from the centre forward. Great ball over the top from McCabe, and you want your centre forward to either get a corner, get a throw in, or keep the ball in the corner, and Beth Mead will be in no rush to get this set piece in.
Just sensed the way the game was shaping, that it was falling into the hands of Meadow with the injury to Millie Bright. Getting forward in there. Can they secure the victory? They're taking their time. It's a short corner. That's a good burst of energy to come out with the ball at the end of that. Katie McCabe, who's had a decent game down that left-hand side for Arsenal. Had a very good season, actually. Only 22. It is a young Arsenal back four. Leonie Meyer is the only player in that back four who's over the age of 23. Knocked to her elbow, I think. Is it a good game?
Yeah, really solid for me. I think I would have liked... I'm a bit disappointed in her set-piece delivery just because I have such high expectations from her. We've already seen her score a goal from a wide set-piece earlier on in the season, but I think in general play, defensive responsibility, she's been spot on.
Arsenal moments away from going back to the top of the WSL. Harder, careless with the pass. Maybe a little bit frustrated there as the ball came to her. That's not the best of days. In fact, the star names have been well dealt with, and I think it was only the injury to Millie Bright that prevented her dealing with Miedemar with the run for the goal. Here's Harder on the outside now for Wuben Moy, and the cross is dipped in. Wow, what a freakish equaliser! Deflected off Lottie, Wuben Moy, and Chelsea are back in it 1-1. Just saying, she's had a quiet game, Pernilla Harder, and she pops up with a decisive cross and ends up in the back of the net. Cruel fortune for Arsenal. 1-1 now, Chelsea back in it.
So strange is, I thought Wuben Moy was going to get there, it was going to go out for a corner, but so strange, looping over Zinsberger. You know, can she do better to read that situation? Timing of her jump. What a really, really sloppy way to allow Chelsea back into this game.
That's poor goalkeeping, isn't it?
It's poor. Really poor to not read that situation and get your start position and the timing of your jump better.
Well, I think 1-1 as we enter stoppage time would be a fair reflection of the play over the 91 minutes we've had. Ingle dumped at Beth Mead there. Late action in the Continental Cup final we were talking about earlier on, and there were 2 goals in the last 7 minutes, I think there were. High ball to the far side of the penalty area. There's a shout there from Millie Bright to the goalkeeper, and out it goes. Arsenal's goal scorer set up by Vivian Miedemar, who's now equalled Nikita Paris's record, by the way, of being involved in 74 goals in WSL football. She scored 52 of those. Has to go down as an own goal. Pernilla Harder will want to claim it, but the decisive deflection looped it up over Zinsberger, who didn't cover herself in glory, I'm afraid. Charles. Rather, it was Fleming. Lord, running off the challenge there of Ingle. And if you are to entrust winning the league to this centre-back pairing for Arsenal, you're going to have to see a great deal of improvement out of them. Kerr's in behind, Kerr loops it for a winner, just wide. Again, the Arsenal centre-back pairing, suspect. Kerr gets free, big chance, big moment. It hasn't ended up in the back of the net.
Dangerous ball down the side of the Arsenal centre-backs. And they're the positions what we used to see in Sam Kerr in the Australian League, in the NWSL, and you would put money on her at finishing that. That's a great chance for her.
And she knew it as well. You could see that. It's going to be a day this season in the WSL, might come in the Continental Cup or the FA Cup or the Champions League, where she's going to get a goal glut. She's going to score 4 or 5.
Her attitude is brilliant though, JP. You know, she doesn't get frustrated. She keeps working hard for the team, putting herself in those positions to get those moments to score on goal, and they will come. She keeps working hard at a game. It's a different proposition being in England and being in this tactical league.
Lovely shot that was of Emma Hayes, reliving the moment with the ball just dropping wide. It was in super slow-mo as the Chelsea coach, I'm sure afterwards, won't say, yes, the equaliser got us out of jail, because it hasn't been that sort of a game. Well, a minute of stoppage time to go. Normally I go to at this stage in order to sum the game up, but I don't think we can do that because it's not over yet. Either of these teams could win it, and Chelsea are hungry to do so. Here's McCabe, who's been outstanding for Arsenal down this left-hand side. Can she, though, provide a little bit of a better ball into the box? She's done enough to force the corner kick.
Great to see, now that Chelsea have equalised, great to see both teams still going for that winner. They're not resting, not happy with the point, although I think the point is better for Arsenal because they don't want to lose back-to-back games. But great to see both teams still going for that winner.
I'll say probably they've done enough to win it with the 2 efforts from Ford, the effort that hit the bar twice in that first half. But he hasn't been that happy with a lot of what he's seen today from his team. It'll swing away from goal, punched out by Ann Katzenberger. Misplaced the ball back inside the box by Meyer, and Chelsea can fly on the counter, and they want to win this, and hardest through the middle. Kerr's ball cut out, absolutely crucially cut out. And really well played, Leah Veltic. High ball into the box, Millie Bright deals with it very well. And the full-time whistle blows, 2 late goals. 1 apiece. Mead scoring for Arsenal with 5 minutes to go, but Chelsea got an equaliser with a lucky deflection off Lottie Wubben-Moy for an own goal from Pernilla Harder's cross, and it's a point apiece here in the London derby. It's Arsenal 1, Chelsea 1.